more highlighting here. The dog squelched. Sounds dubious. I mean, I know dogs can be a bit dubious. I had one that used to eat frogs. Only their heads. For reasons. Like, oh yum, another pair of frog's legs in the garden. Couldn't even call her friend. She was eating the wrong end. Yeah. Ugh. We thought it was cats at first. It's the sort of thing cats do, but no, it was the dog. Yeah. Dogs are gross. Dogs are absolutely disgusting. But not much you can do about it. Kids are also disgusting, to be fair. There's not much difference between children and pets in so many ways. I mean, yeah, but my kids spent some time chewing my shoes, so there really is no difference to me. Like you've chewed my shoes more than any puppy ever did. They evolve. I see, eventually I might end up with a Charizard. I'm not sure I want a Charizard. Fire type seems like a hazard. I mean, it would suggest that they're already fire types. I don't know, the little one's got quite a temper on him. I mean, really fiery. He spends a lot of his time hitting me for things. I'm not even responsible. Why are you hitting me? Yep. And when he's really off on one, he'll just go and punch his brother in the face or the chest. His big brother, I might add. He just walks up to him and punches him. I'm not really sure that's an appropriate response to anything. But yeah, he gets quite nasty. Hoping he grows out of that. Otherwise that's going to cause some trouble. It's terrible though, because you don't know what to do with them when they're like that. Yeah. Yep. That's what I do. Timeouts in our house is to go and sit on the floor. And then they sit there the whole time going, I may stand up. I may stand up. Like, no. No, you can't stand up. Obviously between bouts of screaming about not being allowed to stand up. I don't want to be here. Yes. Yep. Well, my downstairs is all open plan and we have hard floors. So if they want something and they're not allowed to stand up, instead they sort of just scoot along on their butt so that they're not standing up. Ingenious child. Like, yes, mummy, I'm obeying you to the letter of what you said. You see, my eldest, he's 4 in December. He's actually quite well behaved a lot of the time. He's not particularly aggressive with me. Instead, he's very sweet and helpful and randomly tells me he loves me and he'll come and give me a cuddle and he likes to hold my face and tell me I'm beautiful. Which is adorable. The littlest one just grabs my face like he's going to do that and then squashes it. But yeah, the littlest one hasn't learnt any capacity of empathy yet. I mean, he's 2 next month, so there's time. But instead, he does a good amount of complaining if he gets bumped, demanding for someone to say sorry to him. Kids. They're all crackers. Yes, I think so. He's constantly angry with me because I'm not giving him my undivided attention. Yet he fails to realise that punching me in the face does not encourage me to give him my undivided attention. Like, yeah, if you're just going to punch me in the face when I give you, any attention at all and want to play with you, then I don't want to play with you. Shocking, really. Because he does. He'll just punch me in the face. In some ways, he's quite a horrible child. Yeah. And if I say no to him, he'll punch me. He's really violent. Like, right, go and sit in the kitchen then. I'm not talking to you. Leave me alone. And then he'll sit there screaming and complaining. I think the best one he's pulled so far is when he punched me. So I went and sat him in the kitchen. And because I'd sat him down, he wanted me to say sorry for pushing him over. Like, I don't think you quite know what's going on here, kiddo. And they say sorry to me. Say sorry, me. No. No. Yes, indeed. You've got some nerve asking me to say sorry to you. But they'll try pretty much anything. They're kids. I think the best thing is always being told what to do. I was told today that I had to play Batman, so they could sit and watch me play Batman. Like, no, Mummy, you're going to play Batman. Like, what if I want to do something else? No, play Batman. Such a bad influence. I'm supposed to be painting. No, play Batman. They just bully me. I'm bullied by my own children into playing Batman. It's terrible. Could be worse. Could be a lot worse. Not that one. That one. Beach sand. We have some quite dirty blonde hair on her. Hey, Vanderstormhammer, how you doing? Well, at least you get to chill out for a bit. I get to chill out all next week. Not that I actually work. I spend most of my time painting minis, if I'm honest. And managing children. Teaching kids. Yeah, spend all your time managing children. Wait, so you've been a teacher without anything to teach? Sounds like a pretty good deal. Although, wait, if it's how is it tiring? Yes. I'm guessing like online lessons and stuff like that. Oh. Yeah, okay. And you're just like, don't we employ a janitor for this? Isn't that their job? Groundskeeper, someone like that. Oh, painting market. Oh, gosh. Yep. So you've got someone with one of those the rolling measuring tools that click when you do a meter or whatever. So you can measure 2 meters or whatever the distance is you're doing. Yeah. Sounds fun. I mean, you know. Kind of wish they'd just phrased it as, we need you guys to come in and do some painting, and you just rock up with all your mini painting stuff. And be like, oh, well, you said you needed us to do some painting. Thought this is what you meant. This is painting, right? Yes, absolutely. You are the ultimate multi-tool. You're a multi-pass. There you go. You need to dye your hair orange. Fixed it. So we've got quite a dirty blonde. We'll glaze over this as well. Multi-pass. You absolutely should have gone in with your mini painting stuff. Going, you said you needed us to do some painting, right? I'm all set. Yeah. I know that feeling. I'm pretty good at picking up a lot of things. And I am used to people trying to take advantage of that. So now people are like, can you do this for me? And I go, nope. I ain't doing that for you. You do get some people that really do push that one, though. Right. Gonna make a glaze. So I'm going to use some pure oxide yellow to make the glaze, because that's what I started with. That's my mid-tone on the hair. Just layer that over. And bring some life back into her hair. Smooth it out a little bit. You mean like a platinum blonde? Because it looks almost white, but it's got grey undertones. Is that what you mean by Thranduilus? Yeah, platinum blonde. I think the best way to do platinum blonde would be to do a really light grey. Yeah, would be to do a really light grey. And then do a grey, like a darker grey, but with a bit of yellow in it or a little bit of blue. That could work really well as the wash. And then obviously you want bright white for the extreme highlights. Just a second. Because I think my mods are busy. Doo-doo. There we go. Let me have a look. Oh, yes. Yeah. I would go with a brown wash into the shadows. I mean, it's partly the lighting, but it's not actually grey. So go with like a greyish brown in the wash for a wash. Yeah. I don't think I've done hair like that. I might have to give that a try sometime. But yeah, there's still a bit of yellow in there. You can still tell that it's blonde and not the classic platinum blonde, which does look like it's got grey undertones. So you'd probably want an off-white wash. Something like the beach sand. It'll look almost white. But it's kind of got a yellowy tone to it. Something like that, an ivory colour. With maybe... Yeah. Yeah, I mean, you want to go all the way up to a bright titanium white. You could do a blue base, like into the deepest shadows, and then something quite light, a very light blue. And then put the yellow over that, because it'll deepen the shadows, but it will provide that sort of blondish hue. But you don't want to mix the two, otherwise it won't look quite right. We'll kind of end up with green instead. But if you layer them, it won't look as green. But that might work. I might have to give it a go. I don't know. Do I have anything? Oh, I could try it on her. I have this mini. Hold on. I was going to give her whitish hair. So, I've got some... We'll have a look. So, if I just go with this one first, so we'll get that to sink into the shadows. So this is... No, you don't need a permit to post Instagram links. Instagram is a permitted site. Okay, so this is some ivory tones. I think... Actually, this might be the better way of doing it. So start with the ivory. We'll turn the exposure down a little bit. We'll leave that to dry, and then I will see about putting a wash over. We'll see if we can get a similar sort of look. Because it might be better to do the ivory and then do some of the other stuff. I do like the Red Grass Games holder. It is very comfortable. I found it a bit difficult to change the tops at first, but the more I've done it, the easier it's got. But it's probably the most comfortable holder I have. It's a nice shape, and the smooth texture is nice. I've got some 3D printed ones. So this one's 3D printed. So obviously it's filament. Yeah. It's smooth as well. It's not... With really heavy minis, it will start to rotate. But it doesn't... You can't make it just continue to spin round. It does have some resistance. But I do like it. It's my favourite handle. I'd quite like to get another one, so I don't have to keep changing the tops all the time if I'm painting batches. But I think I've got 5 tops for it. Right. So that smoothed her hair out. I want to do her gun. I am going to be a little bit lazy. I have some metallics around. Otherwise I'd mix it with some Metal Plus. But I'm just going to do it in adamantine and then dry brush some Crusader Silver on. Because I happen to have a couple of Reaper paints around. And I quite like the combo. So we'll paint the gun in adamantine. Like so. Just make sure I got the end of the gun as well. And apparently I've totally failed to paint her fingers. Yay! Just getting there with some of that. Nope. I'll have to put some more dark peach out. Let's have a look at this one. It's still drying. She does have jewellery on as well, so I'm actually going to mix up some. I want some Metal Plus. Yes, yeah, we do. Yeah, so big metal minis don't go on it very well. It can do the... So... It won't hold this guy because he's metal. But it does hold an equivalent size Reaper bones. Because obviously it's considerably lighter. So it'll hold him fine. But it won't hold him because he's too heavy. Because of him being metal. So I think if you sized up quite a bit, it would probably struggle to hold much bigger minis. I don't know if it would hold... So I don't know if it would hold the Griffin. Hold. Hold. Wait. I can find out. There's a quick way of testing if it'll hold a Griffin. So it does. It is holding him, but he is spinning. So I'm not touching the thing. But it'll hold a Reaper Griffin. So it can hold some pretty big minis. And I mean, this chap's not that light, but he's just not as heavy as a big metal mini. I'll let you know how much more testing I get done and see if I can get it to hold something even bigger. Dun, dun, dun. Right, let's have a look at this again. While I wait for some... Because I want to wait for the gun to dry on her. before I dry brush it, and then I will see about doing the jewellery. In the meantime, let's see about putting a wash. I have quite a muted blue. Instagram. Ah, okay. Yeah. Okay. That gives me something to work from. I'll even give you a follow. I like that though. I like your work on it. I love the cape. That looks great. Looks very weathered. He looks fantastic. He looks absolutely fantastic from the back. That photo is kind of like the perfect composition. Yeah. It looks weathered. You should try and replicate that. Or, I don't know, just varnish the dust on. Because that could work. Right. So I'm gonna use dark slate blue, and I'm gonna really lighten this up and thin it down because it's way too dark. But it's a very muted blue. So do I have... We'll use this. So this is the muted blue we've got. So I'm going to do a couple of drops of pure white, and then I'll put a little bit of the blue into it. And then I'll thin it down to a wash. I mean, obviously, if you don't have Instar paint, you're going to have to find something equivalent, which is why I'm trying to show you on here. So I'll make that a little bit wider. There you go. So you can see it's really dark. So we'll get a little bit of that. So mixed with some pure white, you kind of get a bluish grey. You see what I mean? It's quite a bluish grey rather than just grey. I'm going to make a really thin wash because I can do more than one. It would be better to do multiple layers if you need it, I think, with this. So we'll make it really thin. And we'll just sink that in there. And leave that to dry. I might have to make it a touch darker. Might be a little too light, but we'll see in a minute. Why am I not surprised? Right, in the meantime, I'm going to dry brush this. Oh, charmed. Yeah. Right, here you can have this, guys. It's hideous, but you can have it anyway. I mean, I'm not a fan of GW stuff. At all. I just don't like GW. Still gonna paint a GW model. Dun, dun, dun. Forge World. Oh, yeah. Hang on. Or less zombies around to do it. Hoping, maybe. I might be able to... Hang on. Can I... Nope. Oh. There we go. That one. And, oh, good God. I don't know what's worse, the mini or the paint job. At least, so he looks like he has a black eye. Is that just me? Like the horse looks weird. It's almost like the lighting's wrong on it. He's not bad on the horse. He looks a little flat in the face. I mean, his pose is okay, but... Ah, something wrong with the face. It's definitely the face, isn't it? Yeah. There is definitely something wrong with his face. It looks really flat. Good God, $84. That's... What? Okay. I bet that's still a lot. Yeah. Yeah, the face looks really weird. It looks like somebody smashed him in the face with an iron. $50 US for those 3 models. That's still quite a chunk. That is still quite a chunk of money. But then again, Forge World isn't cheap either, is it? I understand their prices are also equally ridiculous. Whew, yeah. 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 No, I know that. I guess that the 50 was for the GW, but I'm aware that Forge World is also very, very expensive. I've seen a bunch of people complaining about the cost of Forge World minis. Alright, let's have a look. So, I think it needs to be a bit darker for the wash to work, because I'm going to add a bit more of the blue. It's not going to show very well that it's darker because it's a wash rather than a paint. Yeah. Yeah, I've heard people saying that Forge World is ridiculous. And I've also seen the Henry Cavill memes about how he's thinking about doing Superman again, and you know, there was memes about him having been painting GW stuff, and now he wants to do Superman again. Like, yep. I wonder if he's also been ordering Forge World stuff. Got to pay for it somehow, right? How was your fall from grace, Warhammer? Yeah. I don't like GW. I think they're overpriced rubbish. For the most part. My personal opinion. Alright. So I've got some blue in there. I think that'll be about right for the deepest shadows. I'll have to wait for it to dry. I'm going to leave that there. It does mean we're covering the overgord. No. Oh, ow. We'll put, oh, I wanted that because I'm going to do... Oh. No, we'll do silver jewellery. It'll contrast with everything. And then I'll have to get the metal plus out. And I've already got silver out. Makes sense, see? I'm being sensible here. Get in here with some metallics. There we go. Okay, so I'm going to paint her base. Grab some of this. So I'm going to do this quite dark around here. So there's a touch of blue in this, but it looks mostly black. Which is intentional. Okay. Missed a bit. There's a bit by her shoe there that I haven't done. Okay. I'll have a look. So this is mostly dried now. I think in terms of the shadows, we might be about right. So the midtones are quite yellow. Let me just get some. So if I go over with pure white and where's me? You could probably dry brush this if you were struggling. So I'm going to try and create more of the white higher up. So then we've got highlights for the volumes of hair. Get it in at the front as well. Might have to make the white more opaque as well. So the white I have is translucent slightly, so an ink white would work quite well. So if you've got like a Liquitex titanium white, it's pretty readily available. You could use that to create that kind of white hair. You might not be able to see it very well on camera, but there's still hints of that blondish yellow in there as well. So we'll get it in there. I'm going to add some Matte Plus to my white to make it more opaque. If I can get it out of the bottle, that'd be really handy. So on her I'm leaving places like under the horns without as much white. So it'll be places like that where you'll get more of the shadow colours coming through. That denotes that the hair is a blondish white. So bring a bit more down here as well. We'll just do a little bit more of the ivory tone. In my case it's beach sand. I'm just going to put that in back under there, a little bit around there, back into these shadows. Just a little. So you can kind of just do spot shadowing. So the main difference is that this is making it a little bit warmer. So it depends whether or not you want it cold or warm, really. Back over that a bit more. But that's not bad for a quick one. I mean, you could keep working it, adjust the layers. You could maybe go with more yellow, leave out the blue. His hair is quite warm coloured, depending on the lighting. So that provides a nice mix. So go with blues rather than greys. The hair won't look quite so muted. And then yellow midtones and white, obviously bright white highlights. But the blues and yellows will work really nicely to create a good amount of shadow and depth with that contrast. So the hair's got plenty of texture, but it still reads fairly white. You just see that hint of yellow. We'll try and shade it a little bit because it keeps getting blown out. Hopefully that's more what you're looking for. But yeah, that could work. Ooh. We won't. I need to refocus now. We'll go back to her. So my plan with her, now that I've done all the metals and stuff, she's pretty much done. I'm still working on the base. But what I was going to do, I will use this, is for the whole look of the character description, I'm going to make a few black and white leaves. Because the idea is that around her is very, well, black and white. She's just sucking the colour from the world. Just cut a few strips off. I don't know how many leaves I'm going to want. Hopefully I will be able to get some good leaves out of this. But I've airbrushed it. It's quite an uneven texture, so that way I can get more colour. Yay! Some leaves. Sorry about the noise. It's going to be a pile of leaves now. Right, that'll do. See? Pile of leaves. From one little strip. So these will look good on the base. So I'm going to get a nice leaf scatter. That's also black and white. Thematically appropriate for my basing. Let me just separate out some of these leaves. They've kind of layered as I've stamped through. It's quite chunky paper, but it won't matter once they're on. There we go. I think we might add a... So just mix them up a little bit. I'm going to go with this section because it's got a bit more white on it. So we'll get some slightly different shade of leaves. Like that. So we can mix those up. Or scatter them everywhere, that works too. Look at me. Ugh. It's got caught on the sticker. That's what's happened. It's fine. We can just sort of scoop them off. Right. So I have a bunch of black and white leaves. Very noir. And then I want some basing glue. So I'm going to use some static tack. And stop throwing my brush on the floor, that would be amazing as well. Do I have a good brush for this? I keep losing my brushes for things. Just grab a brush. I have a whole stack of different brushes around. So I have plenty of synthetics. I have these, which will do for glue. There we go. So I've got a little pot as well for glue. Just give it a bit of a shake. Right, so I'm actually just gonna put a little bit over the base. So we'll go with a bit extra there. So she's kind of in a bit of a well because when she's appeared, the snow has kind of disappeared. It's kind of what I'm going with here. She is in fact a spirit. A very colourful spirit. So then I can just take some of these. Compile. Like this. Very muted tones. We've got a few leaves that can go on and look like very large leaves on her. Might have to take the bigger ones off. Just use the tiny ones. It's one big oak tree. Take that one off. I've got some tweezers. Hey Adam! How you doing? It's been a while. Try and take that off. Aha, there we go. Kind of just muttering away to myself at the moment, so just excuse me while I do that. Okay. I'm not intending to use these leaves for anything else, so there we go. Right. Now that I've got them on there, I can put a little bit of glue over them. Just to help make them stick. But this should help with the whole muted tones of the base. I don't know if I've got anything else that would make a nice muted tone. There we go. I think what I might also do though is I do have, where is it? So I'm going to make it look like the snow around her feet has melted. I'm going to put some Mod Podge on. I will do that when it's dry and I've varnished it. But we're going to sink some of that in and it'll create a nice water effect. I don't actually have an example on hand. Never mind. But it creates a very shiny puddle. So we'll make it look like that around her feet. So we just need to wait for that one to dry. What time is it? It is 10:30. Okay. But yeah, I think the hair colour kind of works. I think it possibly needs more yellows in the mid-tones on mine. So maybe a bit more in there. More ivory even. Like that. But hopefully something like that might work for you, Vandus. Make this bit quite white, quite bright white. Same down here. I'll post up some photos of her hair for you, Vandus, if you're still here. So that way you can see what it looks like under a camera that's not been blown out by lights. Woo! But that might work to give that slightly warmer look than just grey. So when her base is dry, I will varnish it and put some Mod Podge in. But that's her done, pretty much. Just trying to think if I've got any other things that I need to do on her. I don't think so. I think we've got her looking pretty good. Ooh, I could add a little bit of extra warmth to her lips and cheeks. So I'll just breathe a bit of life into that one. Get a bit of that. There we go. That'll work. So just really lightly. Nope. There's a little bit of red in this. It's very light pink. We just touch a bit of extra warmth into her cheeks. And I'll use a darker red for the lips. There we go. Let me refocus that. There we go. So I've put a little bit of light pink into her cheeks. And we've got slightly pinkish lips. So she has a touch more life to her there. We'll go in with another coat on the lips, I think. There we go. Maybe a touch more on the cheeks as well. Particularly under there. Just there. That's made her quite alive looking. And her base is a very strong juxtaposition to her being black and white. So yeah, when that's dry, I will put the Mod Podge on, varnish with Mod Podge. But that's her done. Woo! Another mini down. Ooh. What do you think? I think she's looking pretty good. I'm quite pleased with her. Right, so I will catch you guys later. I will be back again on Monday. Yes, Monday. Trying to think what week it is. So we'll go and see if we can find someone to raid. Who is on? Let's have a look. We'll see how long Heath Aldrich might be streaming for now. How long's he been? Oh, he's been going for 51 minutes. That's okay. We'll go read Heath Aldrich then. All right. So thank you very much, guys, for coming in. It has been really nice to see you all hanging out in chat. Hopefully I will catch you again on Monday. Have a good weekend. And hopefully you can find something fun to do this weekend. Paint some minis. Vanders, paint more minis. Alright, take care of yourselves, guys.